Hey guys, it's Galaxy Gourmet. Tonight we're doing two things that are homemade. We're going to start off with a baked Parmesan crusted chicken, and then we're going to do some creamy mashed potatoes with garlic. You're going to start off, I already pounded the chicken because it's really loud at times, but you're going to pound it till it's about this thin, half-inch thickness, so that way it's all evenly cooked, distributed. You want to get your oven preheating immediately. It's going to be about 425, so that way it's ready. For this, it's pretty simple. We do have all of our spices here. You're going to be using some olive oil. I got pure olive oil, just a medium flavor, that's all. And then for the potatoes, we're going to be doing some chopped chives. So we're going to set that one to the side, but we're going to be using all of these here. So for the first step, obviously, like I said, is getting the chicken pounded out to the thickness required. Once that is done, we're going to be melting some butter, olive oil, and paprika into a bowl. Truly, I want my small bowl. So we're going to be using a bowl about this size. Pretty fairly decent. We'll set this one to the side. We might need it, but we might not. So we're going to start off with getting our butter melted. We're going to need only 4 tablespoons melted. So just a small bowl to get it melted. We'll put this right here, since butter likes to pop around sometimes. Got a brand new thing about avoiding the mishap that we almost had last night with the brownies. Thankfully, I was able to switch it up and make a different recipe. So, like I said, we're gonna need just 4 tablespoons of this. Usually about 30 seconds will do the trick. We're not melting it in the other bowl because obviously that one's metal and we don't need to be stupid. So we got our 4 tablespoons here. We're just going to kind of set the butter to the side though, because we will need it for when we do our potatoes. Try to just always rinse out your utensils and then dry it out, so we don't gotta mix things that shouldn't be mixed together. Then we're gonna go ahead and put this in here. And we also, like I said, we did a video last night. We made some fun brownies. So while that and get everything else measured out. Please stop rustling paper. So in this bowl we are going to do olive oil and paprika. We will be dipping the chicken into this little mixture we're creating right now. So paprika and olive oil. So we're going to do a tablespoon of olive oil. Could not find the measurement there for a second. And then we're going to need our 1/4 teaspoon of paprika. So it's just enough to give it a slight spice, but not enough to be super spicy. So now that that's all together, we're going to go ahead and take a spoon. I use my favorite little rubber spoon. And we just want to make sure everything is mixed in really well. So again, this is what we're going to be dipping our chicken into before dipping it into some breadcrumbs. And we're also going to need our Parmesan cheese. grated. There it is. All right. Almost forgot to cut that out. So now that that is mixed, we are gonna go ahead and in another bowl combine everything else right over here. We'll go ahead and use this one right here. We'll set this one to the side real quick. So in this, we're gonna do our breadcrumbs, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, Parmesan, parsley, salt, and pepper. So this is essentially just the seasoning of the chicken. Let me find my breadcrumbs right there. So we'll go ahead and start off with the breadcrumbs. It's gonna be, oh, that was a sneeze. It's gonna be 1 cup of breadcrumbs. We could just go right ahead and measure that right over the bowl. Extra breadcrumbs never hurt. Then we need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And with the panko breadcrumbs, as I said, this is all the seasonings right here that we dip it into. So you just want to make sure you've got it all. Italian seasoning, we're gonna do 2 teaspoons of that. Parsley, where did my Italian? Ah, right here. We want about 2 teaspoons. Also varies up to your taste. I'll usually kind of smell it to see if it's about what I want or if I need to get more in there. We are gonna need a 1/3 cup of Parmesan. Just go ahead and measure it over the bowl. It never hurts to have extra. And I use grated Parmesan, the fresh one. Fresh is usually tastes a lot better. And it's really not too expensive either. Instead of the processed one that's got who knows what in it. So we're gonna need a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And at this point, the oven should be at the temperature you're gonna want it to be. And it wants sea salt. Not regular salt, but sea salt. Let me see if I have one that's a little bit more coarse. Well, this one's fine, so it wants coarse. So we'll go ahead and just use this. So I'll bring some up into a dish, and then I will go ahead and measure it out from there. That's actually the perfect amount, so we'll go ahead and get that in there, and then we will set this to the side, put that right in there, and then you just want to stir it around. And it does smell pretty good, so we'll go ahead and leave it at that. I will probably top it with shredded Parmesan afterwards. So now we will go ahead and start dipping the chicken. You're gonna want to take a baking sheet and then line it either with aluminum foil or parchment paper. I like to use the parchment paper. Stuff doesn't stick onto it as much as it does on aluminum. And you kind of want to just crease it a little bit so it will stay on the pan. So now we're gonna go ahead, get our dipping sauce in front of us. At this point, the chicken is about ready to go into the oven, so we'll be starting the potatoes next. We're gonna just get this one right in front of us so we don't have to drip chicken everywhere. And again, you want your chicken to be a good 1/2 inch thickness. You don't want it too thick, you don't want it too thin. You're just gonna get that right into that dipping sauce. You're just gonna kind of let it drip. You don't want too much sauce on it. And then we're gonna essentially dredge it into here. And you're just gonna shake off any excess. Of course, you can add at the end some more to top it off. This recipe does usually call for 4 chicken breasts, but there's 3 of us eating, so no worries. Everything that is measured out for 4 chicken breasts. So now that we got that all on there, we're gonna just sprinkle a little bit more breadcrumbs on there. Like I said, we're just going to do a little bit of shredded Parmesan on top. Not too much because we do already have the grated Parmesan in there. Just enough. Parmesan in there. Just enough. And you're going to want to take some cooking spray and kind of spray the top of the chicken. Of course, not too much. And in the end, your chicken should look like this. Once seasoned, battered, and sprayed. So we, as I said, have this oven on at 425. We're gonna go ahead and cook it. It says 18 to 20 minutes, so we're just gonna go ahead and do the 20 minutes and check it out from there. So Ziggy, start a timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
And just give me a moment. I am going to go ahead and wash my hands, and then we will go ahead and get started on our homemade mashed potatoes. We are done using the dipping sauce and the breadcrumbs, so we can go right ahead. Any excess we can just get rid of. We don't have any need for it. So now we're going to work on the potatoes. I have about 7 medium smallish potatoes. This recipe I did also find online. Let me pull that one back up. The best mashed potatoes.
Link will be in the description.
All the links will be in the description. Yes, thank you. I was getting there. Because again, I like to either find a recipe online or I will have a cookbook and find a recipe in there, try it out, or I will just create something out of my mind and just roll with it. For your mashed potatoes, we're going to go ahead. You want some garlic cloves. You want about 3 of them. I'm going to use the rest of what I have over here. I have a little bulb here. I just bought some more earlier. We're also going to want a little bit of, I usually will put in some sea salt. You don't want paprika. A little bit of garlic powder. A little bit of Italian seasoning. And a little bit of chili. We'll do a little bit of cilantro as well. So again, we've got about 7 small to medium potatoes. We're going to be using a pot like this, just a normal large pot. We also are going to need some milk, so we'll go ahead and get that out. Or if you prefer cream, but I usually just use milk. And then I'll do as well some sour cream in it, because sour cream just brings out the best of the potatoes, I feel. So we'll go ahead and start off by peeling our potatoes and then getting them cut up. So you're going to want to make sure your potatoes are washed. And then you're just going to begin peeling them. We will add some sea salt into it instead of regular salt to help it cook. Then you're going to be sure to fill it up with cold water. Overfill the pan. You just want enough to basically cover the potatoes, so about that much, about a little less than halfway. And we're going to go ahead and get those started. We want to get them boiling. Of course, it is okay if the chicken gets done before the potatoes, because we do want the chicken to rest a little bit before eating. So we will wait on all of that. We have 6 minutes. This should be done relatively quickly. Alright, so the timer just went off on the chicken. We're going to go ahead, give it a look. Potatoes are boiling right now. So let's see what the chicken looks like. Ooh, it's looking really good, guys. So we're going to go ahead and take our knife and a fork. We're going to give it about 10 more minutes just to be a little safe. It does look like it could use a little bit longer. So while those potatoes are boiling, we're going to go ahead and start getting our garlic cloves cut up. We've got 3 garlic cloves. We might just use 2 of them because one of them is pretty big. You just want to get them minced up. This should be a good amount. I ended up using 2 cloves of garlic. So we, in the end, got this much garlic. We're gonna put some in now, and then we're gonna add a little bit more once it's done cooking. About done. Almost there. Just need a few more minutes. So while that finishes up, we'll clean up this garlicky clove mess. Now we're gonna need, where did it go? A cup of milk. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna be heating that milk up. We don't really want to have cold liquids in the potatoes because it'll cause it to be clumpy and not mix well, which is why we have the sour cream and the butter out. Kind of want it to be a little bit of a room temperature, but not hot. Not too cold, not too hot. So we're gonna get our 1 cup of milk here, since that's almost done. We don't really want to boil the milk. We just wanted to get it to like a soft boil, so you don't overcook it. And also check on the chicken, see how that is starting to look now. It's starting to smell really good for sure. You always want to check the thickest part of the chicken, because that's where it usually needs to cook the longest. And it does look like we are done. Yes. So the chicken is done. We're going to want to take it out. But we're going to want to set it to the side so that way it can kind of rest. Okay. Set it right there out of the way. So we're going to go ahead and get our potatoes drained. You do want to drain fairly well so that way it's not watery. We don't want watered potatoes, we want creamy potatoes. We're gonna grab our masher. Where did I put my masher? There's my masher. We're gonna kind of let it set for a few moments. The milk is just about boiled. You want to make sure to have your liquid in there, such as milk or cream, before mashing. Otherwise, it's gonna not really be the best. Of course, I usually do the milk a little bit at a time. I don't want to put too much at once. I think we need a little bit less potatoes. I might actually good on it. No. So we got potatoes are nice and perfect. I think all the milk, which is perfectly open. From here, you're just gonna add your seasonings, your salt, pepper, chives, garlic, sour cream, butter to your liking. Go ahead and grab another spoon. We'll start off with, try to run away, about 2 full big spoons of butter. We're gonna add some sour cream. Again, the sour cream is kind of to your taste. It is optional. You do not have to put it in if you don't want to, but I usually put some sour cream in there because I like the way and the flavor it gives the potatoes. But I only put a little bit in, and then if needed, I'll put in some more on my own. Just to make sure you've got it to the perfect taste that you want. Salt, pepper, seasonings are all really to your choosing. I'm just adding a little bit of everything. You don't want to overpower it. but you don't want to underpower it, basically. So go ahead, give this another. Okay, so we've got the potatoes done. We have our corn cooking. We just added into the potatoes some sour cream, salt, pepper, garlic powder, cilantro. And with the corn, we just put a little bit of sea salt into the pan as well as butter because it gives it a little bit of a flavor to it. At this point, it is ready to start being dished up onto plates. Here in my house, I do like to serve up the plates so that way everyone can kind of get comfortable where they want to be. Don't gotta move around, try to navigate through the kitchen. So as you see, our kitchen now is small. We did have a little bit of a bigger one, but I'm not complaining because this kitchen came with a dishwasher, so no complaints on my end. At this point, while that is starting to cook, we'll go ahead and get some plates out. Again, tonight this is a crispy garlic Parmesan chicken with homemade mashed potatoes and corn. And let's go ahead and get this last plate. So let's see. Look at this chicken, guys. It's nice, crispy, golden brown. Smells delicious. When it is done, all that is needed is to serve it and enjoy it. Show you what the final result of it looks like. So in the end, your meal should look like this. You've got your mashed potatoes, your corn, and your chicken. Go ahead, try this out. I will have all the links in the description and exactly where to find them, what the names of them are, and as well as, if needed, the step-by-step right in there, either or. Be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. And let me know if you've tried this and enjoy it. This is Gourmet Galaxy. Have a great night.